Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Painting Hyun. In today's video, I will show you how I paint cosmos that have bloomed in the field. And I'm going to use both watercolor and micro pen. This is the micro pen. It's a waterproof pen. Today we are going to learn how much water should be on your brush and paper to create a good painting. And now I will explain the basic step of sketch. First of all, let's think about the size and placement of the main cosmos and then draw a large circle and a small circle in the lower side of the center. And then draw petals one by one. Let's also draw the folded up end of the petal and draw stem and leaves too. I will put a small cosmos here. Let's get started tracing the pencil sketch using a Micron 01 pen. This pen is a bit finer than a pen that I used before. Keep tracing your pencil sketch slowly and carefully because the pen line is not erasable. Okay? And then today we are going to use the color yellow and quinacridone magenta and the permanent violet and sap green, and finally I will use the bit a brown burnt sienna. All right, let's start coloring now. Now I'm diluting the yellow for the stem. This is the magenta, quinacridone magenta, and that is the permanent violet. Permanent violet, and we cannot see the color sap green and burnt sienna. Okay, first apply water to the petal area because we are going to use wet net technique as usual. Okay. Okay, this part is where I ideally want to make sure that I start by applying light value of color. Next, apply middle value of color, and finally I'll apply dark value of color. So I mixed magenta and permanent violet. Then I put on the tip of the petal area and blend nicely from tip the center area. The paper is still damp. That's why the colors will blend nicely. Look at that. Yeah, so looks so beautiful. Now I'm taking a dark permanent violet to add the tip of the petal area and the center where the stamen and pistils are located, and then blend nicely. Now I'm adding a middle value of color to the tip of the petal and around the center, right? And then blend nicely by moving my brush quickly. Actually, the most important thing is moving your brush quickly in the right way and direction. If your brush has a lot of water and moves slowly on the damp paper, it will leave dirty marks on there. So please don't forget this tip and practice with your hand, not just your knowledge. Your hand has to remember it, how much water to use on your brush and paper. Look at this beautiful magenta color. Since there is still a lot of water in the brush, wipe it on the paper towel to remove some of the moisture and I mean the water. And draw the veins step by step, one by one. Now I'm still touching the between the petal and the center of the around the petal area and draw the veins. And then let's paint the petals that are turned over like that petals. Next is to draw veins on the petals. Yeah, okay. Keep your brush move. Blend the color nicely from top to bottom and from bottom to top. For draw some veins and paint on the backside of the petals. Since the paper is not dry yet, so let's paint carefully, beautifully. Okay, I'm still touching the tip of the petals area with the dark magenta color. This time I'm using the brush, move very slowly, and through the veins, move my brush quickly. Next, we will paint the small flowers, just like how I painted the large flower earlier. We will follow the same orders. Start with the light value of color, then add a slightly darker, middle value of color, and finally apply a darker value of color. And then now I'm adding purple for the stems. The reason is that later I will paint a sap green on top of it, and I want the colors to blend naturally and organic. Now I'll paint the other small cosmos in the same way as we did. Next, paint the stem with a light yellow first. Then we will come back with a slightly darker yellow next. Next, I'm going to paint the stem with a light sap green first, then a darker sap green next. Okay. Next, I want to create the cosmos field, the lower part of the paper. So first, apply water on the paper, then paint with light green, and followed by light permanent violet. And I will add a different value of green and permanent magenta and the mixture of green and magenta and the permanent violet color on top of that. Okay. Later on, I will also use the splatter technique with magenta and permanent violet. Now paint the stamens with dark and thicker yellow, just using the tip of the brush. Dot, dot, dot. Kind of dotting. And oh, I need brown for the pistils. Pistil or stamen? I'm not sure. And I put on the brown on the top of it, but the part of the paper is still damp. So I will paint over it again after the paper dries. I'm still working the stems once once more. And I want to use the spreader techniques on the lower part of the paper. It would be nice to add magenta and permanent violet here and there and around the flowers. And then I will tie it up around the flowers, around the flower and the tip of the petals, and do some touch-ups to make the flowers even more look beautiful. I'm touching up the around the uh, petal, around the center of the flower area, and draw the veins little more. Lastly, I want to add a bit more uh, bright magenta to this small cosmos because the painting seems a bit dull, isn't it? So adding some bright and vibrant colors would be nice. Wow, look at these flowers. I love this that color. And so I want to try another small uh, flowers. I'm adding the permanent, no, quinacridone, the magenta color put on there. Wow, it looks much better, beautiful, right? The color is very cool. All right. Today we learned how much water is needed for your brush and paper to create a amazing painting. It's important to use the right amount of water when you're blending colors or using techniques like splattering and or coloring. I hope you keep that in mind and practice. Okay? Okay, today's painting is completed. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave comment. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time. Bye.